A number of your colleagues have said explicitly that they do not think the FOMC should raise interest rates until core inflation is back at 2%. They think there should be a rule. Where do you personally stand on that?
Well, as I mentioned actually at the last press conference, we think our policy rate is appropriate and will remain appropriate as long as incoming data are broadly in keeping with our outlook. And in order to move rates up, I would want to see inflation that's persistent and that's significant. A significant move up in inflation that's also persistent before raising rates to address inflation concerns. That's my view.
So is this the de facto policy of the committee then? I guess I'm wondering why it's not sort of codified in a statement.
We haven't tried to turn it into some sort of official forward guidance. It happens to be my view that that's what it would take to want to move interest rates up in order to deal with inflation.
Gina.
Hi, Chair Powell. Gina Smiley with the New York Times. Just following up on Heather's question. So if you look at the SEP today, it looks like inflation is never overshooting 2% and is only getting up to 2% by the end of 2021, yet rates are increasing in 2021. So I guess how do we square that circle with interest rates increasing before inflation ever really moves up in some meaningful overshooting way?
So I think what you're seeing is you've got a full year of the median being flat, which is, we think, accommodative, modestly accommodative, and inflation not moving up very much, as we've discussed. And that underscores, I think, the challenge of getting inflation to move up. The committee has wanted inflation to be at 2%, squarely at 2% ever since I arrived in 2012, and it hasn't happened. And it's because there are disinflationary forces around the world, and they've been stronger than I think people understood them to be. In terms of those out-year rate increases, what you're looking at rate increases more than a year into the future. And, people will have their own explanations for why they do that, but none of us have much of a sense of what the economy will be like in 2021. So I think what may be behind some of that is just the thought that over time, it would be appropriate, if you believe that the neutral rate is 2.5%, it would be appropriate for your rates to move up in that direction. I will also say to you that a number of people wrote down, and you can't see this at this level of detail, but today, but a number of people did write down overshoots of inflation as under appropriate policy.